Today we have a replay of Grand Cathay versus Kislev. This is actually a matchup I haven't seen that much online. I played a lot of it with Anticity, obviously, but I haven't seen it when both armies actually care about, funds and such. So this will be interesting. I think this is from GGX Spartan and Mr. Doodles. I believe Spartan is playing Cathay. So what do we have here? Peasant Horsemen, looks like two of them in the backfield, just for some mobility and mass. Double Grand Cannon, one Terracotta Sentinel, a Dragon-Blooded Shugengan Lord of Yin, with the Blossom Wind spell? Really? Huh, Blossom Wind and Ancestral Warriors. Aside from that, Peasant Long Spearmen, Long Spearmen, Long Spearmen, Jade Warriors with Halberds, Jade Warriors, and more Halberds. Then we have Peasant Archers, Iron Hail Gunners, and Peasant Archers. Oh, and two Sky Lanterns. You know, the casual, super common Sky Lantern. On the far side, Armored Corsairs, 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 Corsairs. And we have one Corsar with Spears. It's a very heavy metal front line. Winged Lancers on the back, Warbear Riders, Light War Sleds, 2 units of them. And then we have a Tempest Frost Maiden. Yeah, finally! I love this lore way more than the Ice one, personally. Glacial Blast, Hailstorm, and Biting Wind. We have a Patriarch with, it looks like just the heal, and Castalton with the heal and the melee attack buffs. So big old bear blob will be coming in. I don't really believe in the Winged Lancers. I don't think they're particularly good, just like the Jade Lancers for Cathay. Initially I was a fan of them, then as I played more, I feel like their charge just doesn't do nearly as much damage to units in this game. And Anticity was talking about it, that maybe I feel that way because things have charge reflect, so they just get wrecked on the charge and don't do anything. Maybe. But regardless, I think you should either just go super light cav or invest in the heavy cav of Warbears. The mid-tier cav just feels like it dies and doesn't get anything done. Long flank committed to here by Kislev, really trying to come around. They are hiding behind the woods now, which is good. You saw those late war sleds did not enjoy getting shot by cannons whatsoever. If my campaign with Anticity is anything to tell, Cossars really perform badly against a Cathay front line. So Doodles is not going to really count on these guys to do any favors for him. I guess he's just using them as a bit of a distraction. His entire game plan has to rely on this cav force, which is currently getting shot, so he'll want to move up. And soon. Corsar Spear's having a bad time. Even the Armored Corsairs. Look, 80 armor, silver shields, and they're still losing that badly in the range trade. They're just not having a good time. Biting Wind will catch some Peasant Archers. Does a little bit of damage to them, a little bit on Jade Warriors, though the Iron Hail Gunners were able to dodge. And a rebuttal from the Blossom Wind. Does actually pretty decent damage to those Armored Corsairs. Alright. I could be wrong about stuff, I guess. Winged Lancers taking a long flank, but the light sleds pulled by their bears will slam into these lines, and they usually do great damage. Usually, that one got stuck on its own buddy and didn't do anything. But they do get in. Charge Reflection. Unfortunately for Doodles, Spartan was able to brace in time, turning that charge around on the Warbears, who are now taking a ton of damage. Winged Lancers committing. Over here, Winged Lancers just drawing more and more units around with them as they threaten the flank. Quick little Hailstorm does good damage to Peasant Archers. But the Kislevites are not having a great time. They have one unit that's largely healthy. The other 4 infantry are all dead. Their Ice Witch, well, the Tempest Witch is left behind a little bit. And the War Sleds are both quite injured. Winged Lancers are trying to push in. These ones are stuck fighting Peasant Horsemen. They will beat the Peasant Horsemen, of course. But there are Spearmen nearby that could be moved to help out from Spartan. And these Winged Lancers are now going to stop one cannon from firing. And this other cannon has also been dismounted by the heroes who are now ganging up on the Dragon-Blooded Shugen. And is this Ice Hail going to do a lot of damage? I'm still trying to figure out how much damage each spell does. It does a good amount. I mean, seems fine. Like a Searing Doom from the last game. How are we doing on Cab? Warbear Riders are getting murdered by these Peasant Long Spearmen and Jade Warriors with Halberds. Just murdered. Having a terrible time. Wing Lancers are also dying. There's other Wing Lancers are okay. The infantry for Kislev is just about depleted. Though they are getting some nice little poking fire with their pistols in here onto the Lord. Gestalten's stuck fighting the Terracotta Sentinel. He does not enjoy that one bit, especially being surrounded by halberds, and neither does his Tempest, which... It's looking pretty doomed for Kislev. They're in losing matchups everywhere here. I mean, halberds surrounding a bunch of horse units is not great. Jade Warriors pummeling through Armored Corsairs isn't great, so they're just not... They don't have any winning things. Maybe an overcommit here from Spartan, sending in his Lord to fight Gestalten and the Patriarch, who are actually pretty good at killing single entities like that. And a big old blob for the Hail. Doodles is trying to fight his way back into this game, but an Ancestral Warrior summon will come out from Cathay, tipping the balance power back into their favor. And they still have Sky Lanterns. One, and the other one is running and about to be shot down, probably by this light horse sled. Probably. Gestalten terror routes. I don't know if he's naturally breaking or just terror routing, but the Unbreakable is propped for his Patriarch friend as well. Lord for Cathay is routing. There is that. That's a thing that's happening. But I still don't think it's going to be enough. Kislev's just too far down, man. Sky Lantern up here. Plenty of ammo, plenty of health. Light War Sled would have to focus on it. I don't think Kislev has enough left. They have a half-health mid-tier cav unit. All their heroes are in trouble. No, I guess Gestalten's healing himself back up. Okay, maybe there's hope in this still. Maybe. What is this? Is this another Ice Hail? God, you're casting so many of those. Doodles killed the enemy lord, reducing their leadership, then gets a beautiful Ice Hail just punishing that blob. Is that what the spell's called? I feel stupid. It's Hailstorm. There we go. Ice Hail. Oh, it hurts being this stupid. It's physically painful to have such a low intelligence as mine. Okie dokie. Kislev is scrapping their way back in. Winged Lancers will chase off anything that breaks. The big spooky Terracotta Sentinel is still trying to finish off Gestalten, and he does have halberd support around him. Sky Lantern's shooting in, but the War Sleds will now focus that Sky Lantern on everything they have. Or not, I guess, as soon as I said that. It is very squishy, so they probably should just shoot it and get rid of it. Otherwise, this constant poke damage will make them regret it. Gestalten's healing cap is within sight. Terracotta Sentinel is going to beat the absolute crap out of him. And it's really hard to see what's going to take that thing down, as Gestalten is slammed, almost healing capped. Almost, because he has that ability where as he gets lower on health, he gets regen, which is pretty good. Kislev's now evened out the balance of power. They do have some armored Corsairs nearby that could help out. The light war sleds are running out of ammunition. Unfortunately for them, if they run out of ammo, there's nothing that can shoot the Sky Lantern anymore, so they really need to focus up on that if they're going to take it out of this game at all. The Lantern should probably be shooting Gestalten, taking him down. Probably. Terracotta Sentinel is trying to kill, it looks like the Tempest Maiden. But he got a little distracted, and now he's fighting random armored Corsairs. Big old single empty blob running up to fight him. I still don't know what this thing's shooting, but the War Sleds have popped their Unbreakables, so they might be getting shot this whole time. Considering how low their health is, that is probably true. Winged Corsairs will fly in from behind, routing off the Peasant Long Spearmen. Are there still halberds in here, or is that a thing of the past? Looks like that's a thing of the past. Some Peasant Archers have rallied. They are now shooting into the Armored Corsairs' backs, but a light war sled will take care of them unless they can get over to these Jade Warriors' halberds quickly enough. Terracotta Sentinel still fighting. Gestalten's routing off yet again, 363 HP. He is heal capped, he's not getting anything else. And this big boy Sentinel's got to make it count. How many shots do you have? 7 more ammo on that. It should probably be shooting the Patriarch, I guess. Patriarch or the Ice Wedge Chief is fine. Either's fine. Light war sleds are still here. These halberds need to be given new orders or something. They've been standing AFK for a little too long. Another hailstorm, though this one will be mostly dodged by Spartan and Cathayans. Mostly. Nice little poke. Cathay is behind on the balance of power. I personally think they're doing fine. Especially with that big hit onto the Patriarch. He's going to naturally rout. Doubt he's coming back. Sky Lantern's still up there poking whatever he wants. And Gestalten's back, baby. Gestalten's back. Maybe take the Sky Lantern and go shoot his ass. Maybe. Terracotta Sentinel, man. It's carrying. It's hard carrying. I don't see anything that can kill it still. And until I do, I won't believe in Cathay. Not Cathay. I won't believe in Kislev till that thing dies. Sky Lantern does start targeting Gestalten, hits him on his way in. He's lost about 100 HP since we last checked in on him. His leadership is wavering. If he breaks one more time, I think he shatters. I think. probably shatters. Ah, that's a brutal miss from that lantern. It only has 4 shots left. Can't really afford to miss like that. He's getting close into the fight. His leadership's back to high. Gets shot in the butt. 3 HP, and he has 14 leadership with no buffs. And he dies. Okay, Kistalton's dead. Kislev's going to lose a whole lot of leadership. Your Sky Lantern is 3 ammunition, which I think means each of its guns fires once, so it probably has like 9 ammunition left, actually. Terracotta Sentinel's really got to hit that Ice Witch in the face. The Frost Maiden. Still learning the unit names a little bit. Because without her Encourage Aura, everybody's going to break. In fact, even with their Encourage Aura, everybody breaks. Bounce Power still thinks Kislev's got it, and I think the Bounce Power's on drugs. Ooh, Unbreakable passive pops for her, but 2,100 health still on the Sentinel. He's going to be fine. He is big chillin'. The Winged Lancers won't do anything about that. Armored Corsairs won't do anything about that. One last wind spell coming in from the Frost Maiden, trying to desperately change the course of this game, but she will hit her own Armored Corsairs and just tickles the Jade Warriors on the way in. Bounce Power still thinks it's about even, but I think as soon as that Unbreakable wears off, that lady's going to run for the hills, and then army losses will kick in, probably. Yup. Got him. Got him. 500 on the caster, 3,100 on the Terracotta Sentinel. About 500, 400 on the cannons. They didn't quite pay for themselves. Sky Lanterns did overall well. Jade Warriors had to hold. Peasant Horsemen did okay. A lot of the infantry underperformed. Oh, and then the Peasant Long Spearmen just did amazing. Why are the Peasant Long Spearmen always so good? They're so good. For Kislev, an exact even 1,000 on Kistalton. Warbear Riders got crumped. Patriarch didn't do great. Frost Maiden, for the love of God, get it right once. Frost Maiden did 2,200, so she did well. War Sleds did pretty well. Armored Corsairs, overall, actually okay. The Wing Lancers, neither of them paid for themselves. They got close. Closer than I would have thought, but still didn't. And Corsairs did okay. So go infantry, go! And Warbloods. And sleds. And a big sentinel with a halberd.